Hi everyone, I'm Athena Ali, the Get Noticed coach, career strategist and government job application specialist. Welcome today to my live broadcast on using words that sell in your resume and key selection criteria. Now, before I start today, I'd like to do an acknowledgement to country. So in the spirit of reconciliation, I acknowledge the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. I pay respect to their elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people today. So welcome. In this live today, let's find out what words you should be using that sell you in your resume and in your key selection criteria. Now, if you're here live, please do say hi in the comments below. If you're watching the replay, add hashtag replay down below in the comments. And you can also view this on my YouTube channel if for some reason you lose the connection here on LinkedIn, and I'll add the link below. Now, this live is for you if you're currently a public servant who's applying for roles, or perhaps you're outside the public service and you're trying to land your first six-figure public service role. And it's you've probably applied and you either don't hear anything back, or you're not provided with any feedback at all, or maybe you can't get in contact with the contact person to find out why you're not being shortlisted, or when you do finally get through, you're getting generic responses saying that people who did get shortlisted had more experience than you in a particular area. Now, to top it all off, you don't know how to articulate your brilliance in your job applications. Perhaps you're not confident that you meet the criteria in the first place, or if you do, you're not sure how to knock their socks off so that they're impressed enough to bring you in for an interview. And, you're probably, staring at a blank screen and frustrated that you've got to amend or tweak your application yet again for another role. And so therefore you're not confident that you will land an interview again. Okay, so let's try and fix that for you today, because 9 times out of 10, when I see resumes or key selection criteria that come across my desk, it's usually because of these couple of things. Okay, now the first thing is you really have only one chance to make a first impression. So it's super important that you use keywords, okay? Make it easy for the reader to find the information they're looking for with a structure and format that's easy on the eye and directs them to that crucial information that they need to see first. And the first words they usually want to see are the keywords for the role. Okay, if you're applying online through the department website, it's also crucial to use these keywords, because if they're using an applicant tracking system, which is basically like a scanner that looks for keywords or phrases in your application to shortlist you, you need to have these keywords in your application. So do your research on the job description, on the job ad, any information about the organisation and the department you want to work in, and figure out what's important to them, and use these keywords throughout your resume or key selection criteria sparingly, not overusing keywords. Okay, now another thing is stop using vague statements. Okay, if there's a criterion that asks you to demonstrate your communication skills, make sure you demonstrate this to them in your resume and in your key selection criteria. You've got the perfect opportunity to make a great impression with your communication skills right here. So don't put statements in, vague statements like, I have excellent communication skills. So what? Everybody else can say the exact same thing. The only way you can show them that is to prove it. So prove it with metrics, prove it in the application you're actually making, okay? And the third thing is use power words, okay? Now, power words can also be called action verbs or success verbs, just depends on who you're talking to, I think. But use these at the beginning of your sentences in your resume, or even in, as part of your key selection criteria responses. So they make sentences more succinct and tell me in a few words what you've achieved or the outcomes you've previously accomplished. So for example, if I use the word transformed, that word alone tells me that you changed something from what it was to what it is now, and you did it so significantly that it made some sort of a difference. Now, do you see the difference that even just that, saying that whole sentence as compared to saying transformed, that makes a difference, because transformed says a lot just in one word, and it helps you make your sentences more succinct, okay? So that's the end of the live today. It's a nice short one today on the types of words you should be using in your resume and key selection criteria to make your application stand out, and so that you're shortlisted for jobs, so that you don't have to keep applying and applying and applying and tweaking all your job application documents every time. You want to land the job, the one that you really want, okay? So that's the end of my live today on tips on how to use words or phrases to power up your resume so that you get shortlisted for a six-figure public service role. And those three things are using your keywords, don't use vague statements, and use power words or action verbs. Now, if you'd like to download my 64 words that convert your resume to interviews for a six-figure public service job, you can do that right after this live. I will pop the link down in the comments below for you to access that document. They're all the types of words I use in resumes and key selection criteria that I write for my clients that will help you too. So feel free to download that. If you're ready to apply for a role and you still don't know what to do when you're not sure how to get shortlisted, send me a message. I'd love to have a chat with you or discuss with you how I can actually help you land the role that you want. I hope you have a wonderful day. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Melbourne. I hope you're all having a great day, and I'll catch you next week. Bye.